Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Mike,
I'm Duran.
and this is Before We Forget. So, Duran,
Yo,
you got a question for us?
I do. And my question is, why is it so hard to get trust back?
That's a good one. Um, I think the fear, the reason we don't trust as easily is because there's a fear there, a fear of being hurt, a fear of reverting back to your old ways, depending on what the old ways are. Um, but also just there's that constant doubt of like, is this person actually telling me the truth?
Okay.
Which is crazy because we're supposed to, forgive, forget. We're supposed to try to remember, like, at one point I lied about something and had to be forgiven. But, depending on how hard that lie or that deed hurt you, um, that trust is just hard to get back. And you also have to look at their history. Like, has this happened in previous relationships or friendships or work environments, anything like that? Has this happened before to where it just reminds them of some trauma that they've been through before?
Now you about to be mad at me, right?
Why?
So, was you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I knew you was coming with something because you sat there and just looked at me and nodded the whole time, and I said, "All right, here we go." I knew it was coming.
I just want to let you know.
All right.
So, I think it's hard to get trust back because we haven't fully matured. A lot of the times, as people, limits is the word of the night. We have put limits on things. So, like you said, I don't feel like I'm that bad of a person because I only told a white lie and it didn't affect X, Y, and Z. Whereas this person did this and now he's considered untrustworthy, or you're mad and people turn their face up when that person come into the room.
Right.
But what if I told you, uh, I'm not a fan of forgive and forget, but I am a fan of forgiving, because you do need to remember what somebody's done so that you can try to be there or try to help them facilitate. So, in other words, don't give up on that person. So, if we got a group of people that just constantly give up on each other, then how are we supposed to help someone grow? And you might think to yourself, why is this my responsibility for that person's reputation to be grown?
Right.
Well, it's not at all. It's actually not. But the thing about it is, first of all, we shouldn't be judging nobody. And then second off, we should try to put ourselves in someone's shoes. Like you said, I don't know if it's a trauma that somebody's experiencing that might lead to this behavior or why you do what you do. But what I do know is when you get around people and you see them doing something, instinctively you want to start doing it too. It's a portion of you that wants to start doing it. So therefore you're already starting to change with your behavior. But if I don't let this person come around me, then how are they supposed to change if everybody keeps treating them the same way? So eventually you get comfortable in that role and you want to be the untrustworthy person. It's a dog eat dog world, and that's what it's showing you because no one's giving you a redemption saga.
So, but why does that lack of wanting to give them a redemption? Because yeah, they're fighting for redemption, but it's not on you to accept that redemption, right? So why does that show a lack of maturity?
Because at some point, as adults, everybody should get to that point. You'll never heal from anything that you want to heal from if you never forgive or show that same compassion to somebody else. So you won't be showing that compassion. So you can't expect somebody to do something for you that you're not going to do for someone else. Now, again, don't confuse me saying don't shun that person, don't do this, that, and the third, with common sense, with saying, hey, no, I need to protect myself. I need to protect this. I need to do this. No, I'm saying make sure that you have that same level of expectancy for that person, because we'll tell you, oh, no, this person's not this person not that, and then turn around and do something. And for all we know, that made us the untrustworthy person to somebody else. Everybody's capable of thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
But it comes with maturity, because you have to come to a point in your life where you aren't doing the judging, you aren't casting stones and pushing people down, because at this point you are pushing somebody down. Okay, we know that person stole, we know that person lied to you, whatever y'all fell out about, but it's on you to let that keep going. And to shun somebody, now it's just on you, because now you just shunning them and you telling everybody you don't trust him, don't do that. And like I said, that's where the not forgetting part come in. But to forgive somebody, you gotta like totally forgive them. And when we hear that, we think ignorance, like, oh, because I forgave you, I'm just supposed to be non-cognizant of the fact that you be out here punching babies in the face. No, use your common sense. That's what you got it for. But still show that same compassion. If you don't show that compassion, then how can you expect people to forgive you for the things you say and do?
So let's dive a little deeper, because I feel like one time is forgivable, right? And a lot of people have this mentality. And some things, one time is already crossed the line. But then for most actions, I feel like if you do it once, it's a mistake. It can be forgiven. What happens when it's done multiple times?
Hey, you're not gonna like me. You just supposed to forgive people, because you started that statement with a limit. That's the first thing you said.
Yeah.
You put a limit on it. So right then and there, what you said was void, because you supposed to be showing that person the way, essentially.
But okay. So let's put this in a different way.
Are you better than that person because you don't do what they did for them not to be trusted?
I'm not saying that.
I'm asking.
No.
So if you mess up,
well, let me take this back. Let me take, because being in all honesty, like people always say, everybody's on the same level. I truly don't believe that. I believe everybody's on close levels, right? And I'm not saying I'm better than somebody, but I'm also not saying that I'm on the same level as the crackhead down the street doing crack every night. Like, and that's not downing them or shooting them down or anything like that, because I have my own vices as well, right? They have their vices, I have my vices, whether that's working a lot or doing all of this. But I'm not physically harming myself or somebody else in that aspect. And so I can't say that I'm on the same level as everybody, because I do feel like people are on different levels. I don't think it's a gap here and here. I think it's like a gap, like a step or two. So am I a couple steps up from a crackhead? Yeah. Yeah. Am I God? No. Nowhere close. Couldn't reach him if I jumped.
I mean, that's acceptable. I understand what you're saying, but that's not what I mean when I say that. I'm saying everybody's gonna be on different levels. There's no way, because again, it goes back to maturity. You're more mature, or you rationalize better than that person because you choose not to do crack.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, still, it's up to us to forgive people and totally forgive them, because it's a freedom in it. And the freedom in totally forgiving somebody is scary, because it's unknown, and you're afraid of how it makes you look. So many feelings that come into play. It's almost like a small panic attack.
See, but I don't believe in constantly forgiving, right? Because you said you don't believe in forgive and forget. I believe in forgiving, and that's why you set a limit to it. Because if you're standing there talking to somebody and they just smack the crap out of you, and they go, "Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to do that." You go, "All right, cool, whatever."
But
and then they smack you again.
That goes into
I didn't mean to do
that goes into common sense, though.
But okay, so even in situations where you're saying continue to forgive people, at some point common sense has to tell you, look, they are consistently doing the same thing over and over. Why would I keep forgiving them if they're not making changes to show me that they're changing their ways? So that's why the question came,
Right.
how many times do you forgive somebody for something before you're like, yeah, no.
So I got three answers for that. So I didn't want to stop you because I'm gonna forget.
I
So
was done.
the first thing is, like I said, it's still putting a limit on it. Yes, somebody's gonna keep making mistakes, and in that instance, I said use your common sense. So you got common sense, quit letting people hit you. Just plain and simple. But you're not forgiving just for them. You're forgiving so that you can have freedom.
Right.
You're not forgiving just, oh, y'all forgive him just for that. It's for you to have the freedom and the total. It's like being blameless.
But how many times you gonna let somebody hit you?
That's the second part of the question. If I already answered that with common sense. My common sense is I'm gonna protect myself.
Okay, so that's your limiter right there.
But yeah, but we talking about limiting forgiveness, not hitting. That's common sense. So if it's a car coming, we're not gonna stand in the street and let the car hit you because you know if the car hits you, you could potentially die. So the second part of it is if you said how many times you should forgive somebody. Now coming from my opinion and other topics, you got to just keep forgiving people, and then when you reach the limit, you keep forgiving. It's you're getting a reward for your forgiveness. It's not on you to be the captain of forgiveness. I'm not saying keep all these people around you and do this and have you forgave them and you say I'm forgive them, I forgive them, and they steal everything in your house. I'm saying forgive them and keep it pushing and be the example so that that person can be shown some mercy. It's not your job to do that, but it is our job to show one another the way. In order for that to happen, even the person that we consider unworthy can be shown that they could do something and be worthy. And in turn, it'll make them change their ways. It's not for you to make them change their ways.
But there's a difference between feeling like somebody's unworthy and being shown that somebody's unworthy, right?
Yeah, but even if somebody show you that, people can change. So you can't, whatever way you spin it, it's always going to be something to counteract it because once you do your part, you keep it pushing. If you forgave them, that's it. You don't have to dig into all that other stuff and I got to bring you around. I got to take you to therapy. I got to take you to no. You forgive that person. You acknowledge that you seen them say what you said. You called it out, and you keep it pushing. Simple as that. You don't have to go into you. I get what you're saying. You're saying, well, why do I have to do this? Or why do I, if so and so keep doing this or he disrespecting my mama, I ain't gonna have this person around. You're right. That's common sense. But we're staying on this tier. Like you said, we're up here. We're not digging down and saying, hey man, I don't think you should be going around and blah, blah, blah. You call it out. You forgive that person for you and for them. And then you keep it pushing. It just don't cut them all the way out the picture and be like, I'm just done with you and be done. Because then nobody's showing them nothing. So we expect people to show us grace and mercy, but then when it comes to somebody else, it's not skip you. You can't get that. Who are we to determine that?
I guess we just gonna have to pick this up on part two. Because I got some more that I want to ask and I want to go into, but we are right at about to bump up against our 15 minutes. So y'all let us know what y'all think.
Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And the question was, why is it so hard to get earned trust back?
All right, we'll catch y'all next episode. Peace.
Peace.